Hello and welcome to a short video demonstration of Tsugi in the theming. Tsugi, of course, is a learning tool building environment for LTI Advantage, plug it into your learning management system. So Tsugi's been themed for a while. This came from really some great work, David Bauer of University of Dayton. And so David, it's kind of Bootstrap, right? We use Bootstrap, but then our theming is not Bootstrap theming. And we have a couple of values that you can set, primary border, and that reflects it. So I can like change this, where's the, come on here, showed up over there. So I can change these colors in this little theme player, boop, right? And I can do all the crazy stuff I want, right? I can make my text be bright pink if I want. And so there's if it does do some automation, if it's only given the primary color, it does some change of, it uses lightness, but lightness is a really bad, it doesn't reflect well, lightness doesn't reflect well with contrast. It's not really contrast ratio. So I use HSL and use lightness, and it doesn't do contrast ratio very well. So the new theme that I'm working on, I wanted to really automate make it so that you could pick a color like from anywhere. Like if I go to djangoproject.com and I just wanted to make a Tsugi that looked like this, I wanted to make it so that it would actually take a bunch of colors. So you're going to, in this one, you can set, you'll be able to set all these if you want. But let me show you what's going to happen here. I got to keep this here, and I got to go there, and then I got to click on the thumb dropper, and I'm like, I want to have my theme be green. Now, got a little crazy there, but what happens is Tsugi will use, in this case, luminance ratio, and it will take this color, and this color is more than 8 away from white, and so it builds this dark range, right? And the dark range, everything in the dark range has at least an 8 ratio from everything in the light range. And then what it does is it takes stuff in the dark range and populates these theme colors, a whole series of light colors, the middle one, which is not really for any text, that's just so you see it. And you see that it's spread out pretty nicely. This is lightness, not luminance ratio. This is calculated by the ratio that WCAG uses for accessibility rules. Now you can pick a color that is not at all have the right contrast ratio. So let me show you how that one works. And what it does then is, I'll show you dark mode in a second, is this dark color is bright yellow. And so it's like I gotta nudge the color it uses HSL, so it nudges it into a dark range. And so this is the same hue, this is just a darker version of that hue. And so everything in this dark range has an appropriate contrast ratio with everything in this light range. And then what it does is it spreads these out. It spreads these values out in this dark range. So any of these darks, not dark accent, so dark accent is supposed to be like just for stuff that doesn't matter, but everything from dark up to dark background is supposed to be at the right ratio from everything from light to light background. Accent is like if you put a little line down here, you could use the accent and its contrast ratio wouldn't be very good. Now the other thing that I wanted to do with this new theme is I wanted to do dark mode. So if you take a look at dark mode, boom. Now all it's really done is it's sort of pushed all of the markup that used to be in the light range into the dark range and vice versa. Now this is that's a bootstrap thing, so I'm gonna have to fix that. So it ain't perfect, right? You're not perfect, but you see an automatic dark mode. Now, one of the things that happens is I'm gonna have to change from the original theme. I want, in the dark mode, I don't want this to change color, or the top menu to change color, or the inner menu to change color, but then I want everything else to change color and the background to change color. And there wasn't enough like handles on the original Tsugi markup. Now what's going on here is these theme values are not actually baked into the markup. So if you were to look, for example, at this item, I don't know if I can get it, inspect element. If I was to look at this item, you would see somewhere in here, okay, well, whatever, display, here we go. So this nav thing, that's, what is the nav? Nav ID, that nav, it's actually not going straight to the theme. What's happening is I have a controllable global variable. Now, eventually this will all be in a CSS file, but this controllable global variable primary menu is very similar to the classic Tsugi Tsugi theme built by Dave that does primary. I just had to separate the primary menu because primary is also this color right here, and primary menu is that color. So in the old theme, go to Tsugi Classic. Actually, no. So the background color in this menu is the same as this foreground color, and it's the same as that foreground color. And when I want to go to dark mode, I need this to change color, but I'm going to keep this and this. The menus are going to stay the same. So let's go back to the new theme so you can see that, right? So in the old theme, this pencil, this text, and that top bar were the same color. But now if I go to dark mode, the top menu and the inner menu are the same as they were in light mode, but now the background is black, and so this little pencil has to be different. And so that's where I created a, somewhere on here, oh, you can't see it, oh, primary menu. Right, so primary menu is different than primary. And so you notice that I shifted the primaries, and I'm able to map from these actual theme colors into the markup colors. So this is what's going on. And so I don't change the theme colors to go to dark mode. I just change the mapping between theme colors and markup colors. Right? And so the theme colors have stayed the same, but I've mapped them into different markup colors. I kind of backed into this. I mean, I kept thinking I was going to replace everything that was in the classic theme, but then the idea that the markup is an abstraction. So the markup marking of what color this pencil is an abstraction, and I don't have to go through and change all of them. I just use these as my new global variables, and these variables actually are not the global variables. If you take a view of the source, you can, it's not very exciting, right? There is all these root colors, right? And then I tweak the root colors, and then all of the markup goes to those root colors. But so it's not like the theme colors are automatically in the markup. And I think it's a brilliant way. I really couldn't find a better way to do dark mode. Okay, so we want to make a theme for University of Dayton. So let's see what, okay, it looks like that's their blue, right? So let's go here. Let's pop up the dialog box, and let's do the pin, and let's go here. And then let's close that, and let's go back. And now we're going to say make up the colors. Now, Dayton's a cool place. It won't surprise you at all. Contrast from white to their basic color is 16, which is really nice, which allows, actually, you'll see the dark. We made the dark be exactly the same as that Dayton color. And then the dark range goes from here to here, right? And these, you know, maybe these have too much hue in them. I don't know. We'll see. Watch what happens when we go dark mode. Well, and you can see the kind of the light blue. I'll tell you that that accessibility ratio is right because it's all been computed the right way. So now if I go into dark mode, there you go. Now one of the things that we do, what I do is I might just start taking the hue on some of these and knocking them down a bit. So this text here has less, it's not as blue as this text here. And that's good. And so that I still need, you know, somebody to look at this critically from a graphics perspective, but you could always override any of these things, right? So you say, I don't like that LMS controlled theme. Well, that is going to be text menu. Is it primary, oh no, secondary menu, that secondary menu, text light, primary, and secondary menu. I'm like, okay, I don't like that very well, so I'm going to just make that be white. Boom. So now it's white, right? So you can still play with this and figure these out. And the idea is ultimately the learning management system will send these across. And I've got code in Sakai 21 that I hope to backport into Sakai 20. This code here in Sakai 20 that allows you to put all these values in, and I mean, it's not all done yet, I got a lot of work, but you will be able to in Sakai configure what you want sent is all of these values. And so you might just send like dark, and then you might override some of these light themes, right? And I think what will happen is I'll make it so if you make this light and you pick this light, then it will squeeze all these other between that light and white. And if you pick this as white, which I've done, then that's not doing it now, but it'll force these ones in between light and light background to be somewhere in between it. So if this is white and this is white, then everything else is white. Or your LMS can just set them all once your graphic artist figures out what they want. So there's a little bit of work to do. You'll notice, if I look at the source here, view source, view page source, there we go. I haven't changed our CSS yet in our theming stuff, our Tsugi CSS, haven't done that, but I will. So for now I have all this markup very explicit. But really the idea is you can play with this and fun, you can do things like what would a pink theme look like? What would a pink theme look like? Doo-doo-doo. Click. That's what a pink theme would look like in dark mode. That is what a pink theme, and then of course the greatest all-time color of all time, which I use too many times on my slides. What would happen if you made lime green? That's what would happen if you made lime green. And then if you made lime green dark mode, it would be even more exciting. I'm not sure you want to do that, but I assure you that because of all this, this passes WCAG accessibility themes. So that gives you sort of some fun on how you can, how I hope to build theming for Tsugi applications and then pass the theming for Tsugi applications from LMSs like Sakai, because part of my goal is to get to the point where you can't tell where Sakai starts and Tsugi stops, because I want to build functionality not necessarily all in Sakai, so I want it to look gorgeous and the integration to look absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so thanks for watching.